In the last video, we deployed this website in the development mode on this domain. So now what we want to do is we want to move this into production mode. For production mode, we have this file called crowdorders.py, and here if you see, then it has the database of MySQL, but right now we are using SQLite database. Currently our database is SQLite, and since we are using our development.py, it has SQLite database. Now in order to change that, we need to do a couple of things. So first we'll install something. We'll do pip install MySQL client. Okay, so I have already installed it, and if it is not available in your virtual environment, it will download and install itself. I have created a small steps for this. So we did the pip install. Now we need to also move this existing SQLite database to some file so that we can load it later on. So we will take this command python manage.py dump data and datadump.json file, and we'll copy it here. Alright, so this should have created a datadump.json file for us. If we go to the voting and crowd by, to the crowd by folder, yeah, so here you have your datadump.json file. Basically this datadump.json contains all the entries that the database has into a JSON format. After that, okay, so what are we left with now? Now we need to change the crowdorders.py file, and we need to change these database parameters into it. Okay, so my crowdorders.py file is here. So there are some things that we need to change in this file. First thing is we need to remove this domain and use our domain name that we have right now. So this is our domain name. Paste it here. You can remove HTTP and the slashes into it. We'll do the same thing here. Alright, so after changing the domains, what we'll need to do is we have to make changes in this. So our engine is SQLite engine. The name of the database should be your username $your database name. We need to change this. If we go to our databases tab, so under this database tab we have our MySQL database. Here we need to create one database. So I'll name it crowdorder and click on create. So this will create a database for you. So here we have it. So this is our database name, and under the name section in databases we need to provide our database name. After this, what we can do is we have the user, right? So this should have our username. If we go into this file, user is your username, and in this case our username is 17 crowdby. After that, password, the password that I have set for this database is MySqlDB at 123 And now we need to add our host. So our database host is this. Alright, now we can remove the port. We already have our host there, so we don't need the port anymore. After making these changes, we can do one thing just in order to see whether we receive any errors or not. We'll make debug true. Later on we can make it to false, because in production the debug should be false. Just remember that. Alright, so I think we have made all the required changes into it. Now we'll save it. Alright, our file is saved. Now we go to settings.py. Inside the init.py file, we remove the development. Since we made the changes in the crowd orders.py, we are going to import that crowd orders from crowd orders. Make sure you don't write the full file name. You need to write from dot just the file name, not the extension. You don't have to add the .py while importing it. Let me make sure I have this right spelling. So CROWD 0RDERS, CROWD, yeah, it's right. Now I'll save it. After saving this, so our next step, let's see what our next step is. Yeah, we changed the init.py under settings. Now we need to run this command in order to migrate all the data from existing database to MySQL database. Alright, so it should be double dash. It was a single dash. So this is creating the database. This is running the migrations, and it will create the database for us. This might take a bit of time. So what I'll do is I'll stop this video here, and in the next video we'll be following with the other steps. See you in the next one.